One of your absolute favorite video topics on this channel. But where do you actually start with all of this, and how can you successfully build on your shred foundation every single day? To answer this question in an entertaining way, I prepared my personal 10 levels of shredding from beginner to pro. So we will begin with the simple foundation you need in order to start shredding, and it will gradually turn into absolute insanity over the course of this video. But first, let's start with level 1. Mastering these alternate picking basics is absolutely essential, and you can start out with playing 8th note triplets or 16th notes to a metronome, with a big focus on keeping that wrist motion steady and relaxed. Here you can see how controlled and relaxed my wrist motion is, so please avoid using your full arm to pick and pay close attention to the steadiness of your notes. Downstroke, downstroke, upstroke, and so on. Level 2 is more challenging already. Let's involve the fretting hand some more. Now we're slowly introducing one of the most important topics ever, hand synchronization. So the notes of your fretting hand need to exactly line up with every single picking stroke that you're playing. If you're subscribed to this channel, you know that I can't really recommend playing like this. Here I just played a random amount of notes with my right hand, just pushing as fast as possible, and tried to somehow match it with my left hand. So the hands are not synchronized at all, I'm just pushing as hard as possible, and this is not a shortcut to super fast and clean shredding. When you look at this exercise, you can see that my hands are in sync, and I focus on playing exactly 4 notes before I move to the next group. Working like this to a metronome in the beginning will have huge effects on your progress, and I can't stress enough how important it is to play tight and controlled. Speed comes later along the journey. With alternate picking level number 3, we will push the tempo some more, and we will transition after 2 notes. This gives your brain less time to think, but it's much easier than it looks, and I'm sure you can do this after just a couple of tries. As you can see, my picking hand is still very relaxed at this tempo, and I focus on minimizing my movements in general. This obviously makes it much easier for me to speed up my playing a bit later. So keeping a close eye on your hands and fingers right from these early stages will allow you to make much faster progress. Alright, for the next level, you have to synchronize every single picking stroke with a different note. In my personal experience, this exact skill is the key to unlocking your shredding skills. So getting to level 4 took me quite a while at the beginning, and this is the first really big technique challenge. I really felt like I was fighting against my brain when I started out doing this, because with the previous levels I could focus on my picking hand, while my fretting hand was mostly chilling. Now with this level, everything suddenly needs to be connected and tight like a clockwork, and this definitely takes some time. So please don't rush this step and spend some time at this level in case this is still hard for you. One thing's for sure, you definitely won't regret spending some extra time on hand synchronization at the beginning. It's much more effective than correcting badly synchronized playing later on. Let's move to level 5. Now it's time to get started with those tricky string transitions. This is the next big stepping stone, but you can do this easily with the right exercises. The one I just played for you is a great starting point for that, and we checked out even more effective workouts on patreon.com/bernth. Over there you can also download the tabs, get the profiles, backing tracks and video play-alongs for today's exercises and for over 150 lessons. So as you can see, I have to jump between the B and E strings with this lick. I don't want to cause any unwanted noise with my transitions, like getting stuck between the strings, and ideally the listener won't even hear that I'm switching between 2 different strings here. The end result should sound as fluid and effortless as possible, and in my opinion that's the biggest challenge with licks like that. Let's crank up the tempo some more and check out what level 6 is all about. this still isn't too much about being creative yet. Now I'm playing across all 6 strings with an ascending scale pattern, and the most difficult aspect of that one is nailing those string transitions every single time. Once again, I focus on minimizing my movements, both with my picking hand and fretting hand. You want to sound effortless and relaxed as you're ascending in the scale, and that's harder than it looks for sure. When you practice this exercise, please make sure to focus on making each note audible and in time, and don't move your fretting hand wrist too much for consistent results. It's starting to get a bit difficult now. I hope you're ready for level number 7. So this is the biggest jump in difficulty so far, I think. Now I included different note values, odd time signatures, string skipping, and 4 note per string phrases. But please don't be intimidated by this. This is not something completely new you have to learn. We're just expanding the foundation you already built with the previous steps. So while this still does sound like an exercise, it starts to get more interesting now. The added details make this one quite challenging, but string skipping is just string transitioning taken to the next level. So once you feel confident about your string transition, you can also give string skipping a try. This will make your lick sound much more creative right away. Let's see what's behind door number 8 or level number 8. Now things are getting really interesting, I would say. So for this example, I was working with legato, meaning hammer-ons and pull-offs, alternate picking and sweep picking. Fluid and connected transitions are my main focus right here. When I'm switching between all these different techniques and playing styles, I really want to connect them while still embracing how different they sound. So all of these blocks are filled with very fast notes, but to my ears they sound completely different. Alternate picking sounds fast and aggressive. Sweep picking sounds cascading and very unique. And legato playing with those hammer-ons and pull-offs has this kind of fluid and effortless sound to it. So actually combining all of those really cool playing styles will make you sound amazing. We're almost there, time for level number 9. I'm sure you've seen them before. Those flashy and really crazy techniques just look very cool and impressive. But they are also quite hard to master, and to me they're more than just a magic trick or eye candy to impress your friends. You can use crazy techniques like double tapping, multi-finger tapping or other very creative playing style to come up with some really awesome licks. So this looks really crazy, and it's pretty difficult to keep the notes from overlapping and to avoid any unwanted noise as I'm tapping on multiple strings. And those sweep picking finger rolls for the arpeggios might be even more challenging than that. But I hope you can hear that this is not just chromatic nonsense. You can actually use this for your music if you want to. In case you want to learn more about these flashy techniques like double tapping, I uploaded a lot of technique lessons on Patreon already that cover these topics. So make sure to join us over there in the shred guitar community after watching today's most challenging final level. So what could possibly be level 10 for this list? I think this is very subjective and we all have a different nemesis. For some people it's sweep picking, for others it's tapping or any other crazy technique. But my personal level 10 and biggest challenge that I'm working on constantly is mastering extremely fast alternate picking runs with focus on clean execution. So trying to make every single note audible, synchronizing the hands perfectly and avoiding any kind of string noise. As an example of that, here's another 300 BPM attempt with a familiar lick. So I'm trying very hard to stay as relaxed as possible right here and to minimize my movements, just like we discussed in the economy of motion episode last week. I do have to push to play at these tempos and I need to be warmed up first, but the alternate picking exercises, workouts and video play-alongs we checked out on Patreon over the last year have helped me immensely with all of this. I really hope that these exercises will bring you the exact same results. Let's keep working on this together. So make sure to leave a comment about your personal level at the moment and about your personal biggest technique challenge right now. I would really love to hear about that. Also make sure to subscribe right now to follow the exercises I'm posting every single week to push my personal playing to the next level. You can use all of this for your own progress and your own practice routines, so you definitely want to make sure to stay on track. Just message me on Patreon if you have any questions about all of this. I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.